Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Reed Young for PokerSprout.com. Today, we are playing a 6-max sit-and-go. It's called a Double Up Turbo because the blinds go up quickly, and if you're one of the 3 remaining players of the 6 total, you get paid twice of what you bought in for. So that means we make $50 net, minus the rake, of course, because Bovada's got to get theirs. So what we plan to do here is avoid racing. We're going to put people in spots where they are going to be racing, and I plan to chip up, playing a lot of small pots against some lesser experienced poker players while the blinds are low. So that means I'm going to have a fairly wide opening distribution, spots like this. See, I've risked nothing, and I'm already almost up a good 7% on my chip stack. Can't complain about it. So, yeah, something actually that's very helpful that we teach on PokerSprout are these sweet shover fold tables, and you can actually see this is for heads up. It's not exactly in the viewport, excuse me, but for heads up, it's all good in the hood. Multi-way, it's a little bit more difficult to calculate, but using the same logic in that video series, which is on shoving or folding mathematics, you can make a chart for shoving multi-way, and if you don't get an exact answer, which might be difficult to arrive to, you're going to get a very good approximation. So it's really cool because you can understand how card removal and equity pair together, and that's really one of poker's biggest mysteries. Really wrapping up the ideas of board texture developments, the probability of certain board types coming out, in other words, how to select hands that work well given those probabilities, and then ranking those hands. All of that together is really what poker is about. And then the rest is just reacting to bet sizing and bet sizing, choosing your bet sizing wisely to maximize your value the times that you do have good hands. So you guys will have to excuse me. I'm getting over a little bit of a cold here. The plan is to play these tiny pots. The flatting player's distribution should be a lot of ace-jack, queen-x, medium pair type hands. So I would not expect a continuation bet without any equity to be profitable in this spot. However, I have a great hand because I have an overcard and a flush draw. And there's also no need for me to bet extremely largely here, because if I'm just trying to fold out 2 hands like 7-8 of hearts, then they're going to fold anyway. And if I got raised here, I would be in a sticky situation if the raising player had position on me. So it's all good. I didn't even have to risk half the pot to win. So you see, you guys don't have to just blast the pot every time. Another part of that idea is that because it's multi-way and we have a shorter effective stack, both thanks to this being a tournament where you start with fewer chips than 100 big blinds, and because the blinds have already gone up, I can bet small and expect to get my stack in by the river if I want to a lot of the time, because you're going to get multi-way action some percentage of the time. That means the pot's going to get bigger. So this guy quickly bets 95. That seems a little odd to me. I don't know why you would quickly bet 95 with a good or with a bad hand, but it seems sort of like a scare tactic. Perhaps he's just like super excited he has top pair, top kicker, but yo, we're not going anyways. Now I think if we bet and he has jacks, they're folding, and if we check, he might bet an ace that would have called us anyway, so we can check raise, get more value, And if we check, he might also bluff, assuming that we have a 10 or something like king queen. So let's see what happened here. Okay, so he did have pocket nines. A little bit of an odd continuation bet on the flop. Excuse me. Because what the heck is he open to make us do? Call him down with pocket eights? Well, that's the next worst hand, so not really sure what he's thinking there. Maybe it means a river value bet would have worked, but yeah, the board was looking pretty dangerous there. Not really sure that it would have. And I think to assume that he would have nines is a poor assumption, just because that's just a bonehead play, I think. And then you might think, if you're a thinker, you might think like, well, if I'm checking back nines, what else am I checking back? Because what if I check back nines and then he bets into me, and then maybe that's why that player, this guy number 3, bet nines, because he didn't know what to do if he checked back and someone bet into him. Well, the answer is you got to check back some stuff other than pocket nines, you dumb. You can't just check back only poop hands and expect to know what to do when you get bet into all the time. Oh my gosh. So if you check back some weak aces, like the suited ones you might open that aren't 2-pair, you know, some hands like pocket queens on that board, you don't always have nines, and you have some better hands. I can't value bet a 10 twice, for instance. That's a pretty nice little feather in your cap. The you know, make sure you're not just lighting money on fire by checking back, and also just saying, hey, I have nines or worse, so just go to town on me and I'll love it. You don't want to do that. So right away, you guys can see really nothing has happened. We're up to almost 2,000, smooth sailing. If we can get up to like 3 or 4, I think that's the ball game, really. And we can just let these guys flop into each other and do whatever the heck they're gonna do, and just wait to put our money in extremely advantageous spots to avoid giving away that edge that we have just to survive to the final 3, because that's all we have to do, since it's that double up. Man, the blinds are already crazy high, and these guys are just taking their sweet time with every hand. So we're about to get into race mode. The advantage of playing a little looser, a little more aggressive, before the blinds get this high, is against weaker players especially, you get the opportunity to lose a race and still be in the mix. So if we lose a race against anyone, we still have, you know, 1 double up till we're right back into it. No huge thing, but every one of these other guys has about the same amount of chips, so they're going to be pretty much out of it. One and done. Everyone's sitting on 26, 28 big blinds except for us now. And yeah, I mean, hopefully that's enough now to buffer the difference in chips and give us that edge we need to drive it home. So this guy's open limping the button. Not sure that's really ever good, but maybe there's a method to the madness there. I would say with shorter stacks, you might just want to raise and get those blinds, because that's a big portion of your stack that you stand to increase if you can take it down often enough. On the other hand, you know, if someone's just going to check to you with their entire range twice and fold all of it, maybe limping is for you, and you can just check back, and you can just wait and watch and see if they check back again, and then it's all good. So the way that board ran out, the nice little thing about rabbit hunting is you can see what's a little bit more likely that happened there. It looks like he had a bluff probably, since all the aces, or 2 of the aces, were out on the board. And it's hard to have one of the other 2. And he probably would have raised with it pre-flop and or bet the flop if he did have an ace. So, odds are, this guy's got some little weirdo tricks up his sleeve. We can be ready for that later if we see a flop. Which, who knows at this rate? It's not looking promising. Pretty sure blinds are going to be 50, 100 next hand or something crazy. These guys can auto muck or do something. Let's go. Trying to play some poker before these blinds make it all luck in the yeah, sit-n-gos, I love them. I mean, so actually, here is a good idea. I know a ton of people who are saying, like, Reed, I've been playing 25 no limit, I've been playing 50 no limit, or 10 no limit forever, and I can't get out. If you guys have a poker tracker or something like that, and you look at the effect of the rake on your win rate, it is astounding. It's ridiculous. But if you think about the rake and sit-n-gos, it's not so bad relative to the edge you can have with a similar skill set as a break-even 25 no limit player or break-even 50 no limit player. I think you could fire up, 4 or more of these bad boys, have a nice little hourly rate, and get up to 100 no limit where the rake isn't just going to end you. Alright, one's gone. Standard in there. I don't know why people are freaking out with top pair and 30 big blinds. It's like, let's go, people. Oh no, I only have the nut flush drawn 2 overcards. It's 30 big blinds, bro. Let's go. No, I don't have a made hand yet. Come on, man. Let's go. Let's go. Alright, Kojak. Let's get it. Let's get it. Here we go. Ooh. No real point to make it anything larger than 100 here, because it puts a large enough amount of pressure on the remaining to act players. 100 is a significant amount of their chip stack. On the other hand, it's a lot of our chip stack as well. Holy crap, sounds like I'm getting dive bombed. So we want to make sure that we don't get restole on. And now that's nice. Now we're back up to 2,000. Oh, 5,100. Guess has 20 big blinds and no hope. This guy. Maybe you could shove here exploitively. Thinking these other guys are going to fold a bit too tight. I would prefer to be the chip leader to make a play like that. I would say number 5 here can jam a ton of hands, just exploiting the fact that we're extremely close to the bubble now. And if either of these dinglings call, they're risking their whole stack. And he's still fine even if he loses. And it's not like these guys are going to have queens that often. So, I mean, they call with ace-10 and you have 7-4. Not a big deal. I mean, you're a 2-to-1 dog. And you can win that one pretty freaking often. And it's pretty tough even to get ace-10. So when he's button open lipping, we've seen it before. If I were 2, I would be going for it quite often here. For him to check, his hand must be very bad, or he must be bad. But you can see there's already 250 chips in the middle, and that's a ton relative to anyone's chip stack. This bet size is ridiculous. It's so huge. Why? Why? I mean, you can make it 100 and get the exact same thing done. Don't really get it there, bro. But there's not going to be much to get here pretty soon. It's going to be who's got queen high and is first to act, because it's going to be 75, 150, and that will be all she wrote. Again, I would have only made it 200 here. There's no real reason to risk this extra 50 chips. I guarantee you it's not going to change the outcome of anyone's decision enough to warrant the risk. And again, if anyone gives you action or you see a flop, it's not difficult to get in stacks with such short stacks. So that's why it really doesn't matter. There's no reason to make it more than 200 unless you're going all in here. So I think you have two options still. Well, three if you're player number 5 here. You can open limp, I guess. This is a strong hand, I would say. Looks like he really wants some action to only make it 200, or a misclick possibly. But when he only makes it 200, it's kind of an interesting spot for player number 5. Hey, I wish we had our hand back. Oh man, that's why you play Jack 5 suited. Just kidding. Sometimes you fold a hand and then you hit the board with it, but whatever. That's the way poker is. Oh, here we go. Another pointlessly large bet size. And a fold. Alright. Let's get player number 2 to play a hand. Get him out of here. So the next double up could definitely determine the entire outcome of this tournament. I would say player number 5 has been far too active for his former position. I mean, it's not really dwindled, but he's wasted a few hundred chips that he could have at least used to wait a few orbits for a good hand, or he could have raised with them to steal the blinds. Now he's just sort of passively giving everyone else chips. And I think, that's not exactly surprising, being that he was the one worried about stacking off with top pair and 30 big blinds in a pretty obvious spot to move all in. The good news is that these guys making it 250, and it seems sort of like it's caught on to be the norm with a few of these gentlemen, is that they're risking more. So if and when we decide to re-steal, we're actually going to win more chips from them if they do fold. So that's great. However, if it goes up to 75, 150 and they start making it, 400 or 375 or something like that, then there's probably just not much room for any of these guys to fold after that, because they'll have committed so much of their stack. So it could even get crazier in that the options sort of become shove or fold, with the occasional 300 here. Making it only 200 there seems a little bit ridiculous. If you get jammed on, I think, okay, well, 5s, we got the nuts. 10 big blinds and pocket 5s. Pretty tough to fold here. Like if player 5 open limps, they're going in. Ooh, raises. This is sick. Now it's really all about, do we have folding equity if we jam? So it's 6, 7. He's going to be getting a little worse than 2 to 1. I think we should go for it. A good thing also is that he has to risk his chip lead to call this off. So even if he does have like ace-8 suited or something like that, ace-5, that's an awful call, in my opinion. Because now look, you're screwed, buddy. You are screwed. I toasted you. So, yeah, just a terrible call by him, I think. It may have been marginally correct from a standpoint of, my range versus his range. But when you take into account how close we are to the bubble and how much of a chip lead he had on everyone, and now the outcome is it's just gone, I think it's a very bad call. I would be extremely surprised if player 6 has an ace here often at all. unless it's like pocket aces. So I think this is a great spot for a bluff jam by player 5. Maybe like a value bet with king high. You get called by a draw fairly often. Ace king, alright, nice slow play. Woo! Who knows what these guys are doing? Not them. It is not them. So here's an interesting play. I will raise to 400 to commit myself against the small blind, essentially putting him all in, but not against the big blind. And why do I do that? Because I want these guys to get scared, because it's the bubble. And if this guy folds, then that's great for us. What he has to know is that this hand is strong enough to go against this guy if he jams. So that might give us some extra love pre-flop. You know, that said, yeah, and there's also like another very advantageous thing about trying to steal the other chip leader's chippies is that he should not re-steal against us often at all. I mean, we're both almost guaranteed money now. So for him to put that at risk, again, is just awful. Another great video series, actually, that covers this is here. It's called ICM. Sounds like something's going down, so let's watch before we talk about that. Oh, we got the old open limp call. Wow, sick trap. Oh, we're taking it down. Boom, boom. Oh. No. No. It's called ICM. So, independent chip model. Why tournament chips have different value from cash. Big, big deal in tournament play. You cannot ignore it, because otherwise you're this, oh, he's not there anymore, right? You can't sit there and ignore that stuff. This dude, I mean, what? Are you trying to bubble, brother? Is he trying to bubble? Yeah, you trying to bubble. I don't think he wants to risk it twice. So I'm just going to give him the 9-2. Yeah. See, get out. This is my house. And that's some stuff you can do because we are the ones pushing the limit. Here, if it folds to us, we're moving in. Because this gentleman has to have a pretty freaking strong hand to risk his entire stack to avoid bubbling. Even if he does have ace-2, I mean, that's a great hand. But we're going to be about 40% to win. It's going to be tough. I mean, you can't justify really calling that off. It's just a tough spot. And if we lose, we still have twice of these guys. I mean, who cares? Whoops, now everyone's folding. Nom 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 nom. Oh, blinds are 100, 200. Everyone has 5 blinds. Yum, 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 yum. Jamming. I don't think there's much of a point to making a smaller raise size here. I don't really want to see a flop. I'd rather these guys just be put into tough spots, and I'd rather take their 300 chips than risk it. But if they want to call me with ace, queen, or ace, jack, then by golly, go for it. Then we can go see who the bubble boy is going to be. So now we've chipped up so much that we can almost stand to lose 2 races. You know, player 1 almost has so few chips that he can't jam right now with folding equity into the big blind. So the big blind's going to be calling 700 to win 1,300 chips. It's pretty tough to have a hand bad enough to fold to those odds. No, he's just holding on for dear life. What in the heck, man? What are you doing? This raise is just weird. I mean, it screams some sort of exploitation. Maybe he's trying to represent aces more often than he could. who knows? And then here I'm happily calling it off against this gentleman. Really either player. If he open limps, you know where it's going. Yeah, he knew. He's like, oh man, maybe I should stop open limping. Snap call, bitch. 6, here it comes. Yeah. See, I knew. Don't even worry about it. We doubled up. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the sit and go. Let me know what you think about it. ICM is such a powerful thing. That 9-2 hand, a few other jams that we made on these guys, they have to fold because they can't risk their entire tournament life. And if you want to learn how to wield that weapon and you want to learn how to do it against good players, check out PokerSprout.com. We've got a whole video series just introducing the concept. We're going to get more advanced with it down the line. So we'll see you guys there and have a great day.